Scott Capelin from inLIFE Wellness here, and really fortunate to be here with Tamahra Grey, who is one of our top studio owners in the inLIFE Wellness Network. Here to ask Tamahra a few questions and get her perspective on things to help you with your knowledge and research around inLIFE Wellness. So let's go for it. Tamahra, tell us what studios do you own?
So currently we own 4 studios in Sydney and 4 studios over in Perth.
Mm-hmm. Can you give us a bit of detail or a brief overview about those studios?
Yes, sure. So Preston's was our first studio that we opened back in 2022 and at the end of 2022. We've got about 350 members at the moment. We kind of hover around that mark. And monthly revenue for Preston's is about 60 to 65,000. Mm-hmm. One of the smallest studios that we've got is probably Ingleburn, and that hovers around the 200 mark, anywhere between sort of 190 to 210. And monthly revenue for Ingleburn would be about 36 to 40,000. Yeah.
Okay, that helps. And your other 2 studios in Sydney sit somewhere in between.
Correct.
Ingleburn and Preston's, member-wise, revenue-wise. Yes. What were you doing before inLIFE Wellness?
So I actually came from an exercise physiology background. So I was a dancer, went into, did my master's in exercise physiology, and then worked in kind of like a little private practice for a few years, went into more of a corporate role with workers' compensation claims and injury rehab there. And then, had a couple of kids and I didn't want to go back. Coming
into your first studio, do you recall if you had any reservations or fears? Or?
Absolutely. I think the biggest one, obviously the money that you're laying down is a big risk. The biggest fear is that you're not going to make money. It's not going to succeed, or people were going to die off and Pilates is going to be nothing. The phase is going to be finished. There were probably lots of fears, but we were pretty confident after speaking to you and seeing the success of the other studios that you had. Menai and Peakhurst had just opened, and Engadine. So we thought we'd give it a crack and take the risk.
Sort of a big question on the spot, but like biggest learning lessons over the last few years as a studio owner?
Biggest lesson is probably the amount of leadership that goes into a successful business. I think, I knew that you had to lead, and, you always think about, of course, that's, success, but I think you can really take it to the next level, and the amount of support I give my team is vital to the success of the studios. If I don't support them, how are they going to support anyone else? So I think that's probably the biggest lesson learned, is actually invest in your team and let them take care of the rest. Sort of thing.
That makes sense. Again, like just to dive a little deeper, taking care of your team, what does that look like? Or
different things. I've got 3 different managers in Sydney that manage the 4. They all have different communication styles. One is very low touch. I'll talk to her once a week. One is very high touch. I might talk to her every day. So those check-in points are really important. Making sure that they feel supported. So if they do have and generally their questions are, "Oh, sorry to bother you, but what would you do here?" And I try and encourage them, obviously, to make their own decision. Like, I trust them to run the studio as well. So it's providing that level of confidence within them to make the right decision. If it's going to be a big financial decision, obviously they want to get approval. But just trying to have those check-in points that they're comfortable with. Micromanaging is something that I try not to do, even though you want to.
If you could go back, or looking at the last 4 years, if you could change one thing early on, is there anything?
I'd probably like to learn more about marketing. I'm not really a marketing gal. I don't understand it. I understand it's a whole world there, and I appreciate it and I know we need it, but I'm just not familiar with it myself. So probably do some research on marketing and how it can help your business. In saying that, also back-end stuff like general bookkeeping. I mean, we did the books ourselves for the first couple of years. Probably should have trained up on that a little bit more. Just learning, you know, how to run the business.
What do you think, or what has owning your studios done for, say, you and your family?
Oh, lots. I mean, it's just more that financial freedom, I think. I mean, like I said, my husband runs his own business. He is now stepping back, which allows him to spend more time with the kids. Little kids in school, which, you know, a lot of things to attend in school, assemblies and Mother's Day things. And so it can get quite full on, but yeah, it's just provided us that flexibility. Like I can still be around the kids a lot. I can still do school pickups and drop-offs. We do have a very big family support network though. I mean, those early days when I was still teaching 4 blocks a week, needed the grandparents to step in and do school drop-off and things like that. So that definitely, without them, we wouldn't have opened more, to be honest. But they could see that it was something that we were passionate about, and you know, my in-laws and my parents are the OG members at Preston's too. They do more Pilates than I do.
I keep having a laugh about your dad installing the reformer Pilates machines at your first 2 studios.
Yeah, he's been there every step of the way. So it does take a village for sure. But yeah, it's just that financial freedom. It allows us, you know, at the end of the year, we're taking the kids to Disneyland. That's an absolute dream.
Yeah, right. That's cool.
Absolute dream. So, yeah.
I feel like I should start this next question by saying Tamahra's pretty modest and humble, but you are one of the top performing owners in the network. I mean, what do you think you do well or differently?
I don't think I do anything, I guess, differently. I think my focus is really my team. That's what I focus on every day. We've got our group chats with the instructors. There's about 45 in there at the moment that are across the 4 studios. And my job is to make sure they're happy. You know, if they're not happy and if they're not passionate about coming to class, they're not going to do a great job. So checking in with them every couple of weeks or once a month, spending time. We do team bonding and dinners and, you know, last minute lunches and things like that. Just investing time in my team, and that I think the members would all probably say that too, is that our instructor network is so strong. And helping them, training them up, you know, well, what are they struggling with? What can they improve on? Giving them constructive feedback with their classes. You
must have a lot of instructors that are inLIFE Wellness exclusive, do you think? Because you can offer them so many opportunities.
Out of the 45 that we've got, probably 40 of them are inLIFE.
That's pretty
5
cool.
are externals, and I'm still hesitant to hire externals.
Yeah, right.
But yes, no, they all come through. And I would say, out of the 40 inLIFE trained, probably 37 of them were my members.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting, the path from studio member to instructor.
Yes.
And, you know, I could also talk about the path from instructor to manager to owner, because...
I've got one of those, one of my members. I encouraged her to do the course straight away. I think it was like her 2nd session, and she was fantastic. I was like, you should do the course. Did the course, started instructing, and now she also owns a studio herself. Still teaches for me, but owns her own,
we have a lot of success at inLIFE Wellness asking or encouraging our members to go through our Reformer Pilates Instructor Certification Program. And the beautiful thing about that is they already understand and embrace the culture.
They fall in love with the studio, they fall in love with that positive energy, and they're passionate about Pilates. And I don't think you can teach passion. A lot of instructors out there they're very knowledgeable and very good at their job, but sometimes if they are doing it full time and they've done it for a long period of time, they've lost the passion for it. So the new instructors that come through the course are just unbelievable. Yeah.
I think we look at instructors on two levels, and I know that you and I have spoken about this before, but can they teach a good class?
Yeah.
That might seem like the obvious KPI, but
Yeah.
the other one is, are they passionate? Can they build community? Can they build culture?
Yeah.
Because you can have one without the other.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, as a business owner, it can be helpful to have an end game, and the end game can be, to build these businesses and sell, or to build a network of studios and have, what I call a semi-passive income, or have a bunch of studios and do work that you enjoy. Have you thought about your long-term goals as a studio owner?
Not necessarily, because I still feel like it's like 1 year in, but we're now getting up to 4. But in saying that, I think the long-term goal is family, and to provide, having that financial freedom, setting up my family for, early retirement in the end. Who knows how long we will have these studios for? I don't know. We're just living the good life right now and rolling through it, hopefully another decade at least. And we'll see what happens. But I think what we've learnt with these studios is second to none, and we will use that for whatever adventure we use or we want to go down in the future. But long-term goal is just to enjoy what we're doing and live life, and try not to get too far ahead for now.
That's interesting, and it's pretty cool, really. I mean, business ownership's always been pretty good to me. I've had ups and downs, but I really do think you can have, freedom and both in the physical sense, but the financial sense. I've always been motivated to build studios and build a good income, but also build these assets that are worth something. And I just think it's all possible. That's one of the reasons I like, helping people do this.
So why did you start inLIFE Wellness?
Well, I've been in the fitness industry since the late 90s. Had a number of different businesses, always enjoyed it. I guess, some people say to me, why are you in Pilates? You're a male. But it sort of followed my own journey. I played a lot of rugby league and did a lot of running and lifted a lot of weights, and by the time I was in my mid-30s, I was feeling like I was in my mid-60s. I thought something wasn't right. I took up Pilates with my wife. Coinciding with that, I go to a lot of seminars and conferences around the world. Everyone at the seminars is looking for the crystal ball in fitness, what's coming next. But it was pretty clear that even though Pilates has been around for over 100 years, that's where a lot of things are heading. So I started inLIFE Wellness because I thought it would be cool to have a reformer Pilates studio that had some additional exercise modalities, because we know that people love reformer Pilates. We know how popular it is. It's a beautiful way to move your body.
So what do you mean different modalities?
So we've got this other range of classes that we call fusion Pilates classes, and it combines reformer Pilates with other types of exercise. For example, strength training, circuit training, high intensity interval training. There's yoga inspired movements, bar, as in BARRE. So what members want is some variety. So it's kind of like, how cleverly can we use this space? How much variety can we give people under one roof? Back in the day, I did a lot of sales training, and with sales training, you're trying to sell a membership. But that all starts with building rapport. One of the questions was, have you trained somewhere previously? Firstly, a lot of our members have never been to a gym or studio before, but a lot have. So it's kind of like, why are you coming here? Why did you leave the last place? I just wanted some variety. So not only can our members go to other inLIFE Wellness studios, which provides another form of variety and value, they get to do other types of exercise at inLIFE. So people come here for reformer Pilates, I think, and they stay for reformer Pilates. But we also have members say, I wouldn't have joined if reformer Pilates was all that you did. I think it's funny that reformer Pilates is not actually the easiest or simplest thing in the world to get the hang of, but a lot of people stay in their reformer Pilates comfort zone, and they see these other types of classes that have got pretty interesting names like Lift and Athletica, Prana, and they're like, oh gosh, is that hard? Can I do that? We always encourage members to to try something different. And then when they do, it opens up their, I guess, their eyes and their world to a new range of exercise.
But what do you think the ideal studio owner looks like?
So I get a lot of inquiries about people wanting to open a studio, and we need somebody who cares about community and culture, not because it's fluffy, but because it really has a financial driver behind it. This line of work is not about sales, it's about member retention, member referrals. It's about member loyalty and member value. So when I meet somebody and they say, how much does it cost to open and how much money can I make? It's like a fair question, but it's kind of like an alarm bell for me if it's the first question. So I want somebody who cares. Who cares.
And so who do you think isn't right for an inLIFE studio?
Or somebody who thinks they're going to open up 3 studios, put in 3 managers, never go there and go down the beach and drink cocktails and think the studio is going to spit money at them like an ATM. So just be realistic, and we all want a passive income, but it just requires a little bit of work. It's not hard to look after a manager and maybe 10 or 20 instructors. It's hard to look after 250 members. But you don't have to do that if you can get the culture right. And when I talk about culture, I'm talking about team culture, member culture, and then also the culture that an owner is going to sort of contribute to in terms of the studio owner network. So ultimately it's all about being pretty positive, being prepared to do the work, being prepared to help each other and receive help.
So what keeps you up at night?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is, are the studio owners happy? You know, because I'm not under any illusion that the strength of this network or the foundation or the ability for us to move forward as a group is pretty dependent on the success of everyone. So, you know, no one ever tells me they're not happy. But I'd rather be on the front foot and create situations where they don't ever get unhappy. For the most part, what does that mean? You know, like studio owners want support. They want to feel like they're getting value from the fees they're paying. And
so similar to us, as a business owner, all I think about is my team and my members. And then you're now thinking about us.
Well, I do think about you, and I could pretty easily get fixated, obsessed with the experience of the end user, which is the member. But for me, like, the most important person in my world, my customer, is the studio owner, the franchisee, because you know, they're the people that have had the faith to come on board, and we've got to give them all the tools we can to make sure that all studios are successful.
Franchising can get a bad name in the industry. So what are your thoughts on the fitness franchising landscape?
Well, like, I never sort of set out to say, hey, I'm going to create this studio brand called inLIFE Wellness and I want to make it a franchise. Like, that wasn't the original plan. In saying that, like, I'd done okay in fitness, and for a 12-year period between 2008 and 2020, I was a business coach, just helping people out there in the community in the world that had studios. And then that was really fulfilling. But I sort of started thinking, oh, you know, gee, if you're going to help anyone, maybe we can start a network and start a brand. When I was a franchisee, like, one thing I missed after I left that network was the camaraderie and the meetings and feeling like you're part of something. So why would franchising get a bad name? Some people say...
Because I guess, like, owning a business can be quite a solo thing.
It's a solo thing, There's a saying that business ownership and leadership is lonely. Because not everyone has people in the same position where you can talk to. I'm a big believer in coaches and mentors and seminars, and, you know, like, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, that sort of thing. But franchising in the last 60 years across any industry, there might be some bad things that have happened, or people might say, oh, the franchisor, they still get their money if I'm successful or not. You know, I mean, I don't think that way. I think, firstly, like, our monthly fee is a flat rate, which is really rare. So the saying that we use is, we don't penalise you for your success. So, for example, if at Preston's, if your monthly fee was a percentage, just to be blunt, I'd be making more money. But I don't think of it like that. I think if you're happy, like, honestly, two things, like, makes my life heaps easier.
Yeah.
And it makes my work more enjoyable, and you're probably going to open another one.
Well,
I think
that's what I was going to say. It's
yeah.
probably encouraged me to feel confident enough to open more.
Yep.
And the thing I think with franchising is that you need everyone to be at that same level and standard, and you want other studios to succeed because you have that support of the brand by itself. So, you know, just because my studio is succeeding, I don't want my neighbour to be struggling because that does not help the brand. So I find it's very much a network-based success story.
Well, again, like I just don't want to shy away from that question about franchising maybe having a bad name. I mean, maybe some people think franchising is like a cookie cutter approach, but the thing is we're delivering a service to people and the service is delivered by people. So you can't always fully systemize it, although we do have strong systems in place.
Yeah. So what would you say you're most proud of with inLIFE Wellness?
Most proud of is the success stories. Like there's so many feel-good stories. A lot of it involves people changing careers. It could be someone like you, corporate world, had kids, don't want to go back to corporate. Opening studios, and you know, I was talking to an owner the other day and she's doing really well, and I said, I'm so pleased with how you're doing financially. And she said to me, I just want to help women in the community. And then I felt guilty for talking about money, but I feel like someone's got to talk about money. So the reason I said that is we've got studio owners that are working, you know, 2 days a week, making more money than they ever had. People being able to bring their kids through. But just the success stories, people owning more than one studio, people who have gone from member to instructor to studio owner, which is 90% of our network. So I think it's pretty cool.
So you have 4 daughters at home.
Oh, yeah.
And if they wanted to open their own Pilates or wellness studio in the future, what would you say to them?
Find a mentor. Apparently that's not allowed to be me. So, you know,
someone else.
Could be another studio owner, could be a studio manager. But, you know, I'd like to help them on that journey if that's the way they want to go, but they got to do the work.
Learn the basics first.
Learn the basics and then, learn the business model. See, it's not the world's most complicated business model. But this is my saying to myself, it's a simple model, but it can still be stuffed up. So, and when I say simple model, like if anyone out there is thinking about opening a studio, you could invest your money in cryptocurrency, BHB shares. You could open a snap printing franchise. You could open a donut king. So what makes you want to choose this one? Well, you probably got a passion for Pilates or health and fitness. And when I talk about the simple business model, I used to own a big gym. That had a lot of revenue. It had a lot of moving parts, a lot of staff, a lot of expenses. It just wasn't really scalable, and it was a 7-day-a-week job. So, and then I used to own other fitness business models that were very staff reliant and high maintenance. So here, you know, like I say that the instructors are contractors, so we don't have to worry about holiday pay and sick pay. The members come, they do a class and they leave. And I say that because when I owned a gym, the members would come and stay for 3 hours and they would just talk to the receptionist who was supposed to be doing work. You know, you'd need reception. We don't have reception, we don't have front desk. It's kind of like a budget boutique model. So do you think
that's the group class, like the group exercise class model?
It's the group exercise model. So, you know, fitness has gone from the big box gyms to the budget gyms to the boutique studios. So BBB, we're in a great place now. The beauty and irony of studios is that they cost so much less to open, but you can charge the member more. So it helps with our return on investment. You know, people say, oh, there's a lot of studios out there, but compared to like, you know, the 1990s and the noughties, it used to be about gyms, now it's about studios. So all the fitness businesses out there, they're just a lot more smaller and local, and I really believe there's enough for everyone.